next guest has made a call to the Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, to address the absence of surgeons at the St. Anne's Bay Regional Hospital. With us now is the opposition spokesman on health and wellness and Member of Parliament, Dr. Maurice Guy. Dr. Guy, good morning, sir. Welcome to Smile. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Mr. Neville. Good morning, Delia. I'm good, thank you.
Good to have you with us, sir. Before we get specific, shortage of surgeons right across the island, or is just this hospital you're talking about?
Well, technically it's not a shortage of surgeons. First of all, we don't have a shortage of surgeons in the country.
Okay.
University Hospital turns out quite a bit of number of surgeons to meet the needs of the country. And there are other surgeons who are trained abroad who incidentally sometimes are sent by the very ministry to be trained abroad but do not get posts in the service, which is another problem. But let us talk about St. Anne's Bay Hospital. It is a situation where the surgeon, who is also the senior medical officer, is on leave, and the other surgeon who is supposed to provide 24-hour coverage is unable to do so simply because of the workload. So there is a shortage of persons employed as surgeon at St. Anne's Bay Hospital. Now, most major hospitals have what we call different surgical teams known in the industry as firms. So say at KPH, we have 4 general surgical firms headed by 4 consultants with their teams. At Cornwall Regional, we have 3. Mandeville and St. Anne's Bay Hospital only have 1 surgical firm to deal with the entire hospital. Now, when you think that St. Anne's Bay Hospital is a regional hospital, which has a coverage for the parishes of St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland, and gets referrals from the smaller hospitals within the region, then you understand the gravamen of the problem. So what happened in St. Anne's Bay was that, yes, the SMO went on leave. The other doctor is not able to provide 24-hour coverage, and then you have to refer patients to the smaller hospitals to get emergency treatment, emergency surgery. It ought not to be. So if there has been, and we know that if someone is applying the sector for leave, then government has to make provisions for it. Now, my understanding is that in the last set of general surgery graduates from University of the Hospital, the Northeast Regional Health Authority did not employ 1. They got employment in other areas. In fact, I will tell you even more egregious is that in terms of the scales of medical doctors we have, you have from grades 1 to 6 within the region. 1, a medical officer 1 is known as a resident, and medical officer 2, a specialist resident, then a senior resident, then a specialist resident at 3. Each of these graduates, imagine, Delia, if they are given, after graduating from university, UWI, as graduate doctors, they are can be given a post as a consultant at University Hospital, which is a grade 4 in terms of the levels we have. But yet, the regions are offering them grade 2 and grade 1, grade 2 and grade 3, right? Now, this is a significant drop down from what they are expecting, and hence, one who was had an interview with the region was offered a grade 2 position. He said no. He left and went to Falmouth Hospital, where he got a higher grade. So what we have also is inconsistencies across the region in terms of what levels you give these doctors with their qualifications they have.
But why is that? Why is that so, Dr. Guy? Because wouldn't we have, I guess, some standard operating procedure as it relates to the hiring of surgeons, what grades they come in at across all regions, and that it's not subjective per region?
I would have thought so too, but it's seemingly every region is on a frolic of their own. And it's very unfortunate. And it is also in that context that we're asking the ministry to provide guidance. It cannot, the oversight that it is being given to the region demands much more. And to go back to your question, it is one of the reasons why the minister and his team at the head office need to look into the operations of the region. You know, there was a time they had a review of the Regional Health Authority. The country has not been given that particular report. But one of the findings out of that is that what we should have is culling back of some of the powers that the region have, put it back to the central ministry, centralize it back in sense of the decentralization that has occurred for some senior positions so that we can have more control over examples such as these just highlighted, as well as save some funds.
Dr. Guy, so from what you said, the problem is just at St. Anne's Bay, and how you fix it?
Well, what needs to happen is that the region needs to be proactive. If people are going on leave, and it matters whether it doesn't matter whether it's surgeons or physicians or specialist surgeons. You need to ensure that you have continuity of care, because after all, you're treating a population which demands the care. And furthermore, if you have been following the news, as you know you have been, that area of the North Coast, Runaway Bay going on to Discovery Bay, we have had a significant number of motor vehicle accidents on that stretch of the highway. And the nearest hospital is St. Anne's Bay Hospital. Can you imagine trauma patients after a motor vehicle accident having to go to St. Anne's Bay Hospital, needing immediate surgery, and everybody have their hands up in the air because there are no surgeons there? You cannot afford for that to happen.
Yeah. Is there also an implication as far as tourism is concerned? Because that's also an area where there are a lot of visitors coming to Jamaica, and you would want to have the St. Anne's Bay Hospital, I would say, up to speed and ready and able to address any health issues.
Most definitely. You know, my concern more so in the list of priorities are the locals, our citizens.
Correct.
We can provide for those tourists, but certainly as a marketing tool to get more visitors to the country, we need to assure them that our hospitals are up to a certain standard and capacity to deal with any eventuality.
I started by saying you wanted Dr. Tufton to fix this, so I suspect what you said is what you want him to do.
Among other things.
Give me a couple more before you go.
Well, let's talk about corner regional and social cases, right? I want him to fix that too. You cannot have a situation that you're aware of for many years now, and you have people who are capable of being discharged from the hospital and can't be discharged. A simple solution: explore the legal implications of getting these people into a nursing home. Government has to pay for it, but it's cheaper than keeping them in the hospital, and you free up hospital bed space. A simple example such as that.
Good to see you, sir. Thanks for speaking with us this morning. God bless you, sir.
As always, thank you very much for having me.
Opposition spokesman on health and wellness and a member of parliament, Dr. Maurice Guy. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back with more on Smile. Stay with us, please. Soon come.